Hi, I'm Tim, the Cheap 3D Printer. Today is Star Wars Day. It is May the 4th. May the 4th be with you. The other day I decided that I was going to print a Phasma helmet. I had this silver filament that my wife got me for my birthday. Decided I was going to print this Phasma helmet and thought it would be a perfect thing to show on Star Wars Day. And so I set out to print it. I printed it. I didn't print it full size. This was a full size helmet that you could do for cosplay or whatever. I didn't print it full size because it was going to take 5 days and some odd hours according to Cura, which means it was going to take like 7 days because of my jerk settings. So I put it on the trunk or acceleration settings. So I put it on the Tronxy X5S and brought it down to about, I think it was 70%, and printed it, and it started going and going and going. And if you follow me on Twitter, you saw one of the progress pictures. I think it was 16 hours in or something of that sort. It was going great. Last night, I left to go eat, and I came back to a terrible, terrible layer shift. And so I had to end the print. But I ended up with a, I don't know, about a 3/4 helmet, Phasma helmet. And I also used tree supports from Cura on this. And I'll talk about that more in just a second. But it was coming out beautifully. The Tronxy isn't quite as accurate as my AM8, which is sitting in the background. But it was cool. It was looking really cool. I was loving this. I think that it's so cool. I'm still going to keep it. It's a failure, but I'm going to put it on my desk anyway because I think it's absolutely, it's really cool. So then I decided I was going to print it again. I was going to drop it down a little bit smaller. It was only going to take about 10 hours to print. So I set it back up again to print. Went to bed thinking that in the morning I was going to wake up to a successful print, and I woke up to this. Most of this is supports that's around it, but I had a nozzle clog, which when I tried to pull it out, ended up clogging my Bowden tube. I could not get it out, so now my Tronxy X5S is down for a while. I went ahead and ordered some cap tubes, Capricorn tubes. That'll be in a few days, and then it'll be back up and running again. But failure number 2. I was getting frustrated at this point in time. But I was destined to get this done, and so I printed it again. I went a little bit smaller, so it was going to print in about 4.5 hours. According to this, it printed in 5 hours and 7 minutes. You can see it sitting on the build plate back behind me, and we are going to go and get that off the build plate. And this is a perfect opportunity to look at tree supports once again. We did a video on tree supports that a lot of you watched already, and a comparison between regular supports and tree supports. I made some modifications, just a slight modification to the tree supports to get this to print even nicer. So we're going to see how it turns out. Hopefully it turned out really well. So let's get this off the build plate. And just like that, it popped off. That was nice and easy. So here is what we got. A nice small Phasma helmet. And this AM8, man, it just lays down consistent layers. This thing looks fabulous. And I'll show you more once we get everything, all the tree supports off. But you can see here, I'll show you how nice this thing really looks. It really is just phenomenal. You can see the tree supports all up in here. There's a great big tree support inside supporting the top. And so we're going to rip off these tree supports. The one adjustment that I made, there's a 4mm gap or something between the trees. I made this 2mm so that way it would be even closer and make even better supports. And so let's start pulling this off and see how it comes off. It comes off the side absolutely beautifully. Came off the front, just, I mean, like butter. Just like that, just came off. Inside, let's see here. This is going to be the hard one. Oh my gosh, that just came off just like butter. There's the tree support there. See it really well. I apologize for the focus and everything. I can't find the battery charger to my big camera, and so I'm using just my cell phone, and I've got it on selfie mode so I can see what I'm doing, and I can't turn off autofocus or turn off the, there's some focus anyway that it wants to do consistently. So I'll tell you, I am thrilled, absolutely thrilled with those tree supports. Those turned out very well. The underside, I mean, it's still the underside of something that's been supported. I don't know if you'll be able to see in there or not. Yeah. You can see there that it is done. The bottom is, you know, a little rough, but nothing that a little sandpaper might take care of. Take these little pieces of support off, and there we have it. Phasma from episode 7. I believe she's in episode 8 also. There is a black visor that I'm going to print out to go inside this. This is going to be a showpiece for my desk. I will put it next to the big one. Man, I wish this big one would have finished. This thing would have been amazing. Next to Darth Vader on my desk. I'll put Phasma on my desk next to, I've got a Stormtrooper cup holder, or a Stormtrooper pen holder. Maybe I'll put Phasma next to the Stormtrooper pen holder and show everybody Phasma. So that's all I got for you today. Hope you enjoy Star Wars Day. Hope you enjoy May the 4th. And may the Force be with you. Have a great day. Keep printing, and keep printing cheap.